What's going on, everybody? Shonen Express here, delivering to you my weekly manga rankings. So this week we have more than usual. We have 12 different chapters that came out, or at least that I read this week. So I'll be ranking all 12, and we start here at the bottom. At number 12 is the 1272nd chapter of Hajime no Ippo. I really like Ippo. I hate to put the manga itself this low on the list, but in reality, this chapter just wasn't all that interesting. I liked seeing Sendo again. I liked getting that little backstory. It's cool that he's in Mexico, but we really didn't get anything super specific this week. That's why it ended up at number 12. Coming in at number 11 is the 12th chapter of Tokyo Shinobi Squad. By now, I'm sure you guys know that I'm not a huge fan of Tokyo Shinobi Squad, or at least a huge fan of this arc. Luckily, this arc has concluded. Unfortunately, I didn't think this week's chapter was very interesting. We finished up the fight with Hyosui, and we went to the models talent show. I didn't really find any of it super interesting, so that's where we kind of ended. I am excited to see where we go in Tokyo Shinobi Squad now that arc is done, but as it stands this week, it ended up at number 11. Coming in at number 10 is the very first chapter of Mission Yozakura Family. Now, I did a video this week about this manga and kind of my thoughts on it and whether I'm going to keep reading. I am going to keep reading it, at least for the time being. I might end up dropping it someday in the future, but I really did like this manga, at least the first chapter that we got. I thought it was a very interesting chapter. It ended up at number 10 because a lot of other series I thought had better chapters, but I did think this was a good chapter. Don't let the ranking of number 10 confuse you. This is a good manga, and I'm looking forward to see where this manga goes in the future. But for this week, it ended up at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is the 118th chapter of Dr. Stone. If you've been watching my weekly manga reviews, you know that Dr. Stone usually ends up somewhere in the middle of my weekly rankings. And this week, it ended up at number 9. This isn't because this chapter was bad. I really thought this chapter was cool. The artwork was phenomenal. I like that we revived Taiju, and that moment where Ryusui is reviving him is really cool. This chapter has a lot of cool things happening, but it ended up at number 9 this week just because I thought the things above it were even cooler than it this week. So that's where Dr. Stone ended up at number 9 this week. Coming in at number 8 is the 13th chapter of Beast Children. Now, I feel bad putting this manga at number 8, but again, all of the ones above it I just thought were a lot cooler. But this chapter of Beast Children was really good. I'm really excited for the arc that we are about to go in, the Sevens arc. We're about to start playing some matches. I'm really excited to see that go down. And we got to know our whole Sevens team. I love that we got names for characters. I really liked that this week. So it ended up at number 8 this week. Coming in at number 7 is the 164th chapter of Vinland Saga. Now, this chapter, I believe, came out just last night or maybe Tuesday night, but this chapter was really good. I loved the fight that Sigurd had with his dad. I loved the commentary there. It was a really cool fight, and the artwork was amazing. It always is in Vinland Saga, but it was an amazing artwork. If you haven't checked out the manga of Vinland Saga, the anime is airing right now. I would encourage you to read and watch it. This is an amazing story, so I definitely encourage you to get on that. But this week, the chapter ended up at number 7. Number 6 this week is the 953rd chapter of One Piece. Now, I feel definitely bad putting One Piece this low on the list. One Piece is one of my favorite manga, but I think it deserves its place. This is another setup chapter. I like what we got with Yukimaru. I love Kawamatsu. I want to see more and more with Kawamatsu, so I like that we got to see more there. And I'm very interested in what this Enma is. I love this Zoro turn that we have right now. We're following Zoro right now in the manga. I really like that. I hope it continues. And I know that it's going to get amazing here in Wano very shortly. But for now, this week, it ended up at number 6. Coming in at number 5 is the 217th chapter of Black Clover. I really like Black Clover right now. This arc, I'm very excited for. This chapter specifically, though, we got to see some stuff, some more with that Damnatio, whatever he is. Domnieto, however you say his name. We got to see more with him. I thought he was going to be an ally of Asta, but I guess he's going to be kind of an antagonist. That's even cooler. I really like him as a character. I want to see more there, and I really like this political aspect that we're getting into in Black Clover. So I'm excited to see where that goes, but this week it ended up at number 5. Number 4 is the 15th chapter of Samurai 8, The Tale of Hachimaru. This manga is blowing up. First of all, if you've watched my other videos, I'm a huge Masashi Kishimoto fan, been a huge Naruto fan, and I'm a huge Samurai 8 fan. Last week and this week, Samurai 8 ended up in my top 5. I definitely think that this manga is going amazing places. I'm so excited to read next week's chapter. But this week, we just got all kinds of stuff. We got the affirming, or, of who Hachimaru is and what he stands for. I love that. I really appreciated this chapter. The only reason it's number 4 and not higher is because I thought all of the chapters above it were even better than this one. But I really loved Samurai 8 this week. If you're not reading Samurai 8, I encourage you to get on that. It's only 15 chapters long. So, yeah, definitely I would read that. But this week, it ended up at number 4. Coming in at number 3 this week is the 240th chapter of My Hero Academia. I love the villain arc. Unfortunately, I think that the villain arc is wrapping up, to say the least. It might even be over next week, but I've really enjoyed the villain arc. It's placed high in all of my weekly rankings during this villain arc. I really love the stuff that we got with Shigaraki, how he's leading this army. I'm very into this. Our antagonists are forming up. I really liked it this week, and so that's why I got number 3 this week. Now, coming in at number 2 is the 147th chapter of The Promised Neverland. Now, we got a lot more with Giran, a lot more of his backstory. I love how we get to see these demons being like good guys, not being evil. I really like that. And so this week in The Promised Neverland, we got a lot more of that with Giran and kind of his, how his clan got banished and all of that. I thought it was a really good chapter, an amazing chapter, in fact, and that's why it ended up at number 2, only beaten out by the number 1 pick. And coming in at number 1 is the 359th chapter of Berserk. I actually believe this chapter actually came out in time for last week's weekly ranking video, but I put it on this week's just because I didn't read it. I didn't know it existed. A friend of mine told me that it was out, and so I read it this week and put it on my list right away. This definitely deserves number 1. Casca is back. I'm excited to see Casca fight again, to see her be a competent member of the crew, and obviously it was heart-wrenching when she saw Guts and all the things, all the trauma that came back there. I am excited to see what happens, but it was very moving. Also, the Skeleton King, or the Skull Knight, Skeleton King, what am I talking about? He was back. I really want to see more with him. I want to find out more about him, and I hope that now is when we get to do that. I just hope Miura, produces another chapter in a reasonable amount of time. But it definitely got number 1 for me this week on my weekly rankings for sure. Well, that's all I got for you guys this week. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a comment down in the comment section if you have anything to say. If you disagree with my rankings, I'd love to talk to you. But if not, if you liked anything I had to say, like this video and subscribe to my channel. I bring you my weekly rankings every single week, along with another special delivery of a variety of topics. But I'm very excited for these changes to my channel. Definitely subscribe for more, and I'll catch you the next time. Thanks for watching, but for now, this is Shonen Express, signing off.